I promised you a special guest yesterday, and here it is, Kevin Garnett, an interview with KG right now on the Locked On Celtics podcast.
Be ever ready. Recognize the city of champs. Boston, baby, we do what you can't. Locked on number 18, Tatum and Brown, J-team, step back. We gon' wet that and slay teams. Of course, the Celtics, who else could it be? Screaming like KG with the Larry O.B. Karalis above average, assessing the team status. Best daily pod, no cap, salary matching. Clutch like Bird the DJ, keep John on replay. Prime time, dapping up the truth on the sideline. Raining J's, how it started, raising banners, how we finished. Locked on Celtics pod, home of the winners. B.
Hey there, thank you for making Locked On Celtics part of your daily routine. It's a Monday through Friday podcast, and thank you for making it your first listen every day. Locked On Celtics, it's free, daily, available everywhere podcasts exist. You can get the show on YouTube to watch the show. I would love it if you watch the show and subscribe there. And every episode, if you want to scroll back through LockedOnCeltics.com, catch some old episodes if you missed anything. I'm John Karalis. I cover the Boston Celtics for Boston Sports Journal. I've written a book called The Boston Celtics All-Time All-Stars, and I am one of the media voters for the 75th anniversary team. One of my votes for the 75th anniversary team went to Kevin Garnett. Kevin Garnett made the team. He made the NBA's 75th anniversary team. He is a Hall of Famer, and next month, March 13th, he is going to have his number retired by the Boston Celtics. So today, on Thursday, Kevin Garnett was made available to the media. Now, I wasn't able to get an exclusive interview. This isn't a one-on-one conversation with Kevin Garnett. However, I thought this would be a great show to just, after listening to Kevin Garnett speak for 25 minutes or so, it's a fun kind of look at his time in Boston, things that he's learned. You know, he has some funny comments about his intensity and stuff like that. So I wanted to share it all with you. So here is Kevin Garnett's interview with the Boston media here on Thursday afternoon.
We can start with a couple questions here first. The first one is from John Karalis, please.
Thank you, Kevin. First of all, congratulations on the Hall of Fame enshrinement and the upcoming number retirement. Have you given yourself the time to really look at what's coming up here with this number retirement in Boston, with your number going into the rafters next to Bill Russell, next to Havlicek and Bird, and where you stand in Celtics history?
I haven't really went that deep with it, if I'm being honest. First off, I'm super honored that the Celtics recognize me. And this is a great honor for not just me, but my family. And obviously, I know the Celtic history coming into being a Celtic. I was always conscious of the ones that have come before me, laid the path before me, the Bill Russells, the Satches, and JoJo White. I'm probably just more than on that, more than anything.
You broke up a little bit there, Kevin, the last part of your statement.
No, I was saying that I'm aware of the history of the Celtics and the company and all the retired numbers. I haven't had a chance to just get lost in it, but I'm just honored. It's an overwhelming feeling, and I'm just super honored to be a part of the Celtic family and this great tradition.
Well, we're so fortunate to see you play the years you did with us, Kevin, and we're very honored to recognize your talents and your contribution to the sport of basketball and to the Celtics.
I appreciate it, man.
Yes, sir.
Straight up.
Here's Mark Murphy with the next question, please, Kevin.
Eddie House the other day said that you set a bar that everybody just automatically rose to. When you first got here, just how much did you think you had to change what you saw?
Well, coming in, I had a certain way that I worked, and I had a certain pedigree and a certain way I went about when I worked out and getting things done. Coming into the Celtics, I had a lot of confidence in myself. I had a lot of confidence in my ability. I think my big worries were how would I mesh with Paul? How would I mesh with Ray? how would I mesh with some of the young guys here. I knew Kendrick Perkins and I didn't have the best relationship when I played the Celtics. So I was more than concerned about the continuity and the connection with everybody. I knew how to play. I knew what I was bringing as far as a demeanor and a work ethic. And I had heard nothing but good things about their young players, their Tony Allens, their Kendrick Perkins, their Leon Poes, their Rajon Rondos. I heard it was all great workers. So I was actually relieved and just looking forward to, meeting everybody, seeing how other guys work and, connecting with them. But, coming in, I was probably more concerned with the continuity and how I would get along with guys and how guys would respond to me more than anything. Once we came together and I saw how we all worked and I saw how everybody in their own right had their own ways of how they did stuff. And the connection was there day one. And we were just a bunch of guys who was from similar backgrounds, but we were all workers. So that was our connection. Everybody there was not a prima donna. Nobody was a diva and all this other stuff that sometimes you get on teams. I was coming from a Minnesota team and I was frustrated with talent and work ethic. So coming into a group of guys who enjoyed to work and was looking forward to work with me was refreshing. So I cleaned on to that. And then Doc, I got to give props to Doc for bringing us all together, keeping us, stimulating us, pushing us. Tibbs was another guy who stimulated and pushed us. When I look back on the 08 days, the 07, 08 days, man, they were really special days with a special group of guys. I knew that from day one, from just working out with everybody and listening to how everybody was talking. I knew we had something different.
Next question is from Adam Himmelsback from the Boston Globe, Kevin.
Hey, Kevin. Why do you think you were able to establish such a kind of connection to the city and this franchise, even though, you're only here 6 years? It's like people really view you as a Celtic. What was it kind of about you and being here that worked so well?
Well, I'm a historian of basketball, and I have never, ever in my life cheated the game. I've never went at the game nothing less than 100%. I heard Larry Bird say one time in his early years in Boston is that the reason why he loved playing in front of the fans in Boston is because you couldn't fake them. You couldn't fool the fans here. They knew when you was playing hard. They knew when you were giving your all. They had a sense of basketball history, and they had high basketball IQs. They cared, and I never forgot that. So much that when I was coming to Boston, I was talking to Antoine Walker, and he had obviously had some experiences, not just with playing in Boston, but playing and having success and then not having success. And that advice he gave me was some of the best advice, along with the Larry Bird statement. After having those conversations with him, I told myself that I probably won't be the best player on the court every night, but I'm gonna play like it, and I'm gonna give a 1,000% of effort, like I've always done. But I wanted to be able to show people that I can play through injury. I wanted to show them, plus teammates and coaching staff. I wanted them to see that I can play through, damn near anything. That I was mentally strong. That I had some endurance. That I worked really hard. I really worked on my craft. And I had stamina. I can play for long periods of time, and I played both ends. I was very prideful in that approach, and that I think that resonated with the city. Fans, when they saw me, I would like to think that they saw a person that was playing hard and giving his all. And as a player, that's all you can ask of yourself. As fans watch you play, you can only give what you can give at the rate that you can give it. So I thought that I played the game at a high rate and a high velocity, and I wanted to always play on that temperature. I didn't never want to come in, be cool. I didn't want to be calm. I wanted to be under control, but I wanted to be electric, and I wanted I wanted to win every game, and I wanted everybody who I was playing against to know that. So, I guess the fans resonated with that. And to this day, fans come up to me, they dap me, they express their appreciation for hard work and the passion. And, at the end of the day, man, that's all you can ask for, man. So I'm grateful for that. But that's what I think is the connection between me and the fans, or I would say, they've connected with me from day one, from stepping on the court.
We'll come back with more from Kevin Garnett in just a moment. First, I got to tell you about BetOnline. BetOnline has you covered this season with more props, odds, and lines than ever before as football continues its march through the playoffs right to the big game here in a couple of weeks. BetOnline.net remains the best spot for all of your sports scores, podcasts, and news this season. It's not just football. BetOnline has up-to-the-minute info on pro and college hoops, NHL, boxing, UFC, along with live, real-time updates of current games. Don't wait to take advantage of all the new amazing offers available for the 2022 season. BetOnline, where the game starts. Please gamble responsibly. Hey, thanks for making Locked On Celtics your first listen every day. Want to tell you about the special trade deadline show coming up in less than a week. Thursday at 3 p.m. is the trade deadline. So Thursday at 2 p.m., I will be one of the hosts of the Locked On Network's trade deadline coverage. Kim Becker hosts the show with me, Josh Lloyd of Locked On Fantasy, and Antonio Daniels, former NBA veteran. We're going to break everything down. Everything that happens, the stuff that doesn't happen, our surprises, our things that we expected, all of that. So make sure you're subscribed to the Locked On NBA YouTube channel. Set your notifications for Thursday. And once we go live, you'll get notified. Check the show out. Now, let's get back to more with Kevin Garnett.
I know, Kevin, this is Twister again. The media don't see us in practice, but I'll add to it. Even in practice, you gave 100,000%. When Doc told you to sit out, you were still running on the sidelines. You were still doing other things to work on your craft. And you were amazing after every single practice. You're amazing.
I tried. And I think that if it was the load management back then, I'd probably still be playing. I should have listened to Doc ass, my hard-headed ass. That's what I get for being a Taurus. I should have listened to his ass.
Next question is from Kyle Hightower.
Kim, one of the legacies of that team, 07-08, obviously, is the successful revival of the Big Three, bringing three All-Stars together and having success. Now that you've had a little time to step away from it, what's it been like for you to see teams over the years try to replicate that secret sauce that you guys kind of brought back?
Actually, if I'm being honest, man, I think that the history shows that I think we were just following history, if you can respectfully say that. I followed Magic Worthy, Kareem, obviously Larry, Kevin, and Robert Parrish. I can go on and name three pairs on each team. Obviously, Dennis Rodman, Jordan, and Pippen. I looked at what we were doing was following kind of the script of the history, It just organically, happened the way it happened. Obviously, Danny had a plan. I don't know if that was the exact plan, but, it worked out. And then having a future all-star in the chamber with Rondo and having so many complementary pieces made the team that much more special. People forget that we had James Posey. We had great guys that was coming off our bench, like James Posey, the Eddie Houses, guys that can actually go other places and start on other teams. We have those guys backing us up and, filling in for us and stuff. So, yeah, I look at teams as, the script is you got to have 2 to 3 guys who can, get you over the hump and have the confidence to hit big shots and have a big that has a post presence. And, the script is there. I just think that we just fell right into the script, and other teams have done some of the same things to have dominant teams. But it's no special recipe or any of that. I don't think Paul, myself, and Ray actually initiated or reinitiated the superstar or having 3 superstars or whatever you want to call that. I just think that in having an advantage, why not have all of the advantage, and why not take advantage of that? And that's how I looked at it. I looked at it like we was a team that's trying to bettered the Celtics, and these were the parts to it. Nothing more, nothing less than that.
Next question is from Jared Weiss, please.
Kevin, you were a famously intense leader, and it seems like nowadays leadership is and chemistry building is a little bit more delicate, maybe be the way to say it. I'm curious what you think of just the way that leadership and locker room dichotomy has evolved over the years, especially with the increased amount of media and social media attention.
Well, I do know one thing. Even though being intense, even though being passionate about things, as a leader, you at some point you have to be about what you're talking about and what you're preaching. And you never ask a guy or you never ask teammates to do things that you were not willing to do yourself. So a lot of the stuff, I was intense. I was vocal, but in the midst of being a leader and being trying to be the best leader I can be night in, night out, I wasn't a know-it-all. I was a listener. I was also vocal on both ends. And I wanted to bring a betterment to the team. I wanted to help the guards through the pick and rolls. I wanted to help guys on help side. If someone was helping me, I wanted to turn around and have them know that, that I had their backs. I would dive on the floor. I would do dirty stuff. I would do stuff that you wouldn't anticipate a superstar or a big or someone of status to not, and I think that was the biggest strong point of that. But today's, you got to be about what you're saying. You got to be patient. You got to be open to other ideas other than your own. And at the end of the day, man, it comes back to that first one. Be about what you're talking about, because if not, you grow on deaf ears. And I don't know. I think a lot of guys these days, I think they lead. I think the world's a little more sensitive and a lot more precious, and you got to be a lot more. It has a bit of sensitivity in it, so you have to approach it with that. Have to be conscious of people's feelings, and someone would feel if certain things happen to you or things happen. You have to take that. You have to put that shoe and always have it on the other foot and have that perspective. But I think some guys, we all lead differently, but at the end of the day, I think that you got to be about what you're talking about, period.
Next question is from Gary Washburn, please, Kevin.
Hey, Kevin, how's it going?
Hey, what's up, Gary?
Good to see you. Good to talk to you. How are you dealing with all these accolades? I mean, you took a lot of flack. You were not a true center, but you kind of revolutionized the game by being kind of the first stretch four, a dude who could shoot from the perimeter. Now that's what every NBA team wants. And I've asked you this before. You used to grab the rebound off the rim after the whistle. People hated that. Now everybody does it. You're getting this appreciation after you retire, and then especially this number retiring. How are you dealing with all these accolades, young guys telling you that they idolize you? Because you didn't make a lot of friends on the floor, and you weren't chummy as players are now. How are you dealing with getting all your flowers and dealing with this, and also kind of your role in the game and the history of the game is kind of forming to where you were a revolutionary player? How are you dealing with all that?
I'm just trying to soak it up, being honest. I'm trying to be very humble. I don't know. I'm just, it's all a shock to me. I can't, you know what I mean? Like when kids come up to me and they express their appreciation for different things, I don't really know what to say other than thank you. If you ask my sisters, they might say something else, or ask family, they may say something else. But for the most part, man, a lot of the things was just my makeup. A lot of the things was I wanted to be innovative. I wanted to, in the world of so many styles and so many, different different influences, we're all trying to be different. We're all trying to stand out and be our own brand. And I just stayed true to what I was and who I was. It was the easiest thing to do. I didn't want to be something I wasn't. I wasn't going to cheat myself or cheat my career or take any shortcuts in anything, And at the end of the day, man, it's only thing I could do is control what I was in control of. And I'm just glad that the young generation actually recognizes. I'm glad they know the history. I'm glad, I can be inspiring. I'm glad I inspired others to be whatever it is their style is, or whatever came into inspiration. I'm glad I was able to be that, because, you can get mistaken for something else. A lot of times these days, people are speaking for you. And I don't know, it feels good to have a sense of appreciation from a younger, if not another class and another group of people. So, to anytime you get flowers or anything, I'm super appreciative. I feel like I've been able to give back to the game, and as the game has given to me. So, I'm super appreciative.
Going to come back with more from Kevin Garnett. I have one more question for him. That is coming up next. That has to do with his intensity. First, let me tell you about Built Bar. It's a new year, so that means New Year's resolutions, and you want to go and drop a couple of pounds maybe? If you're anything like me, I know I do, and so Built Bar is going to help me do that. Built Bar, I'm going to throw it into my gym bag, so I know after a workout, it's going to fuel my body and give it everything it needs. If I'm looking for a snack, I can have a Built Bar, and I know I'm not going to settle for some kind of really crappy candy bar, which is like 250 calories or so, 30 grams of sugar, tons of net carbs. Built Bar, 130 calories, 4 grams of sugar, 4 net carbs, plus 17 grams of protein. That's what you want. So you can have it in the morning. If you wake up late, you oversleep, grab a Built Bar on the way out, grab a bottle of water. Now you got yourself a decent, at least, meal replacement, and it'll get you through because it's got all that protein and everything that your body needs. So check them out. The best part about Built Bar is the promo code LOCK15 will get you 15% off your order every single time. So if you're looking to figure out, hey, I'm not sure which one of these I'm going to like, they have a mixed box. You can try a couple of each. That'll help you. That'll help guide you. They've got a bunch of flavors. Go to Built.com, scroll over all of their products. They'll give you the nutrition information. They're not hiding anything. They're proud of their nutrition information. So go to Built.com. When you decide on something, use the promo code LOCK15. You're going to get 15% off, and it works every single time for 15% off at Built.com.
Give you the final couple questions here, Kevin. John Karalis is next.
Kevin, obviously, most of this conversation is touched on your intensity in some form or other. How does that manifest itself today, now that you're not playing anymore? Do you find an outlet for it? Do you need to find an outlet for it? Or has that kind of like simmered since you've stopped playing?
I'm still passionate about the things I'm working on. I'm into production and film now. So, it has its challenges in it. I'm in different spaces as far as business. And in business, it has its challenges where you have to, show some of the same properties in which when you played and you worked out, nothing's given, everything's earned. But I've been put the Hulk in the closet, man. I haven't the monster under the bed, 3 or 4 slugs to the head. I've been put the monster under the bed. I haven't reached into that bag of intensity for a while. I'm a lot older. I like to be a lot more chill these days. I'm a little more patient. Yeah, all the things that I didn't have when I was younger. And I can't say that, and I can't say that and say I wouldn't be lying to you if I wasn't passionate about a lot of the stuff that I'm into, and expressing that sometimes come in. Every time I jump on the court and I'm messing around, some of it leaks out here and there, but I can't say it's been like the old days. I've definitely grown. I've definitely calmed down a lot more. And I like the older me. I like the older me. But yeah, every time and place for everything. It's a time and place for everything.
One final question here, Kevin's from Chelsea McDonald.
Hi, Kevin. Thank you so much for talking with us. You said that you played with everything that you had. And I'm just curious, while you were doing that, while you were playing with the Celtics, did you ever think that the team would one day eventually retire your number?
When you sit there and you go through the national anthem, I used to always do a couple of things. I used to always beat my chest to the crowd, let them know that my heart's in it. That's what that meant. I used to always go ahead and bang my head because banging the head of the back support would always say, "I'll do anything in this game," and I'll bang my head in here. So that was that. And I will always during the Pledge of Allegiance, I would always look up for the first part of coming out. If you ever seen me suit up, come out, and all the guys got to line up, and you line up, I would always look up. And that was my inspiration. That was my driving force. When I came to Boston, I wanted to be a player that was remembered for playing in Boston. And I went out every night that I suited up and played like that. But every night, every morning I would come into practice, I would look up at the banners and I would just look at them and I would go through each one and before we had our own, I would always look at the little light. Twister, you know what light I'm talking about. Doc used to put a bright light on the space that had no banner. Mm-hmm. And I used to stare at that. And I can say that retired numbers on top and the banners was my driving force, even when I didn't play with, even when I wasn't playing with Boston. When I played with Minnesota, if you go back and look at the video, I would always stare at the numbers up there. So I can say that it was there, and it was a driving motivational force for me. And there's one that I didn't voice, and it was one that I kept to myself, and it was one that was constant. So I'm glad I had those properties there. Talking to Bill Russell and made me even more immersed in history, and it made me, man, I was just so inspired, even more from talking to the older players, JoJo White, rest in peace. Like, just, when the players would come in, I would love listening to them and listening to their journey because it was all inspirational. So I'm glad I had that, real talk. I'm glad I had that to push me, and I can sit here and say I'm here, I'm honored. And I just want to thank the Celtics organization for recognizing me in this manner. And it should be a fun night, man. I'm looking forward to it.
Well, thank you, Kevin. Before we let you go, just anything, bringing up your Showtime documentary and your book, and anything else you want to update us on that you're currently working on. I know you touched on it a little bit, but congratulations on your Showtime documentary and your book too.
Thank you, man. Working hard on the Showtime doc was everything. It was great going down memory lane. Obviously, I got a book out. That was a different experience. I'm coming to Massachusetts in April with the cannabis opportunity and trying. I got a show called KG Certified that I'm doing with Showtime and Showtime Basketball. That's got a couple episodes out. So yeah, I'm just staying busy. Paul, trying to keep me and Paul still, trying to go at it and stay relative and, trying to get Perk on the treadmill and trying to get TA to D up. You know what I'm saying? Just
I hear
hollering that dough every now and then. His kids are out here. My kids we all have kids now. So we just, on some family-ish. But for the most part, man, trying to enjoy life and be creative at this point and, get back to the world, man. It's simple life right now. So, yeah, you know what I mean?
Sounds good, Kevin. Well, I know when after we won the title in 2006, I can share this with everybody on this call. Remember one day you said, man, Twisted, about 20, 25 years from now, we're going to be sitting on the front porch smoking a cigar someplace. Remember that? It's almost getting to be that time, friend.
I'm about to say, I think we're coming up on 25 or something, ain't we?
Getting close, getting warm.
It definitely is closer than later. So,
well, congratulations.
Good times, though, man.
You bet. Congratulations. Thank you very much for spending a few minutes with us, Kevin. Stay safe. Best wishes to you. We'll see you in March.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you, Twister. Thank you, guys.
By the way, that other voice you heard on there, the legendary Jeff Twiss, PR guru for the Celtics for a long time. One of my favorite KG moments, if you look it up, you can find it on YouTube, of him with Jeff Twiss in the locker room. He was asked about shooting threes, and he goes, I can shoot threes. Twiss, can I shoot threes? Twiss is like, yep. He goes, I can shoot threes. It's a great clip. KG at his best. I hope you enjoyed that. I thought it would be a fun thing to share heading into the weekend. Celtics take on the Detroit Pistons and the Orlando Magic this weekend. So I will come back with a podcast wrapping up those two games and getting us ready for the week ahead, which will include the Brooklyn Nets. Some real tough games there for other teams. The Celtics have an opportunity to step up and maybe climb in the standings. I will have it all covered. This is a Monday through Friday podcast. Every once in a while, I'll take a departure like this because I think it's just a fun thing for everybody to listen to. But I'll be here Monday through Friday, giving you everything you need to know about the Celtics. It's free. It's daily. If you're watching the show on YouTube, you want to subscribe, wherever you subscribe, that'd be great. I'd love to get more subscribers to the YouTube page. Getting close to that 4,000. I'd love to get to 4,000 by the All-Star break. That'd be amazing. So please help me out and share the podcast. Tell your friends, tell everybody they should be listening to and watching the Locked On Celtics podcast here on the Locked On Podcast Network.